Hello, everybody on LinkedIn. I am Coach Sandra. I specialize in women's wellness. Today, I have a very special guest, Paula. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so you're going to have to say it for me.
Naeff.
Nath. Okay, that's very easy. Just you never know. I always like to make sure it's correct. But welcome and thank you so much for taking the time. I'm really interested to know. I know that you are a coach and you talk a lot about movement. I want to know why you became a coach and talk about your specialty and how you help people.
Well, thank you for having me here, Sandra. This is really an honor, and it really is. I really have felt drawn to you and then to your profile,
Don't
and then
make
I was
me
like,
cry, Paula. I cry easily.
oh, that's okay. You may cry.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So, yeah, so actually, it all comes from my dance background.
Mm,
I've been dancing my whole life and very intensely and going through very intense dancing training and always actually dreamed of being a dancer. And then early on realizing that my body doesn't look like a ballerina. And so I thought that would be it, that I couldn't do it. And so life goes on and all this. I didn't pursue that dream so much. I kept dancing and here and there and all throughout my life and into even today. And I love it. I love dancing. Like ballet, classical ballet is the thing. And so all these other things happened. I studied, I went to university. I'm actually from Finland originally. So
okay.
this is where I studied dance. And I went to the United States and went to college. And I've always wanted to find a way to help people. And that's the origin of me becoming a coach then
Mm.
eventually. But, and I kind of thought, well, if I'm not a doctor, how am I going to help people? Yeah.
That's our limiting beliefs that we have as kids. We really don't know the possibilities. So
Yeah.
interesting.
For so long, I thought, well, if I'm not a doctor, how am I going to help people?
Right.
And that was like this view
Yeah.
didn't open up until very recently. And actually, the dream of becoming a coach, I've had a long time. And I've done a lot of things in between. Actually, I worked as a credit manager for 6 years. And now looking back, I'm like, look, I was actually coaching a lot, using a lot of things that I'm now learning as I'm doing a certification process. And I'm like, I used this, I used that, not knowing that that would be, could be called coaching, but
Right.
finding solutions or helping people see solutions that they don't originally see. And 15 years ago, I printed out a business card. Like I was a credit manager working for a company, but I printed my own business card that said motivational speaker and coach.
There you go.
There you go. That was already 15
Visualization.
years. Yes.
Yeah.
And now we are here. And I started this program for young dancers to build self-confidence. And it's based on an app. But I've been coaching and guiding these young dancers through this past 12 months that I've been going through the program. And then all of a sudden, a couple of months ago, someone said, well, why don't you work as a coach? And then the light bulb went up. I was like, yes, not like, yes, that's what I've been doing. And I just did not, put these two together,
Right.
my own head, but it needed that some other person who was listening to my story and to what I do and all this, and to say like, you are a coach. And so that's how I became a coach.
That
And
is,
I love it.
yeah. And the fact that it's interesting, the dance component, it's something that was within you your entire life, and it was just screaming or wanting to dance its way out. And the fact that you can do something that you were so passionate about, that was in your heart and your soul for such a long time, be able to share that and heal and help people with dance or movement is absolutely, I'm getting chills. It's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like for me, I was a former gymnast, and we had to take ballet, and I did some ballet as a kid as well. And it's something that I really loved to do until it became competitive. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had to compete, and then I lost all the joy. you know, so it's very interesting how that happens. And so who are you helping right now? Who is your client?
So my clients are young dancers.
Young dancers.
Yeah, whether they're in dance school still, like as a pre-professional, just about to get to the point where they're going into the professional world, or they're
Hmm.
just starting in a junior company or in an apprenticeship program or some just young. And why young? Because I was like, when I realized that I was always a good enough, I had always been good enough. I was a really good dancer. I still am a very good dancer. And I was like, why do you have to be over 40 years old when you realize that you're good enough? You don't. Why do you wait? Why would you have to wait? Like
Right.
if someone gave you tools when you're young and at that stage in life where you're discovering yourself and you realize, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to dance. I want to make it happen. And then what really counts is how much you trust yourself. Like if you trust yourself and you are already that good that you are in a pre-professional program, then all the doors are open.
Yeah, and I found that when like I was talking on your post earlier about yoga, and
Mhm.
what yoga has done for me in my mid 50s to late 50s is given me that confidence back in just not just my shape but my ability to do it. And there's a sense of confidence that comes from movement for me. And I
Mhm.
think that when you're younger, when you're involved in sports or involved in something that is not just sitting and doing a math test, it allows that part of your brain, that creative part of your brain, to connect with I'm good at something, and it gives you that confidence. So having said that, you made me think about what exactly do you do? Like, I don't want all your secrets or anything, but because they're already in dance, I would think they are having confidence. What is it that you are connecting for them that they're not getting through just being in dance themselves?
It's kind of the same kind of scenario goes through a lot of people, and especially if you're very involved with some kind of sports, like at a high level, or you're very intensely involved, then you kind of lose the kind of perspective from the outside saying, look at you, like how brilliantly you can dance, how you can move and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're so involved in that, first of all, in dance, you look at yourself in the mirror all the time, like all the time. You stand in front of the mirror. And there was someone said or had done a study about using the mirror. And the study showed that people who are in the beginning of like dancing and they're not so sure yet about the movements, they use the mirror like it's supposed to be used. They use it to find ways to correct themselves in a healthy way, in a positive way.
Mm.
And then when you get to a certain point where you kind of feel like how you're already dancing, that it's going to be more or less the way it's supposed to be, then you start looking at the mirror and looking for faults and things that you think you should have different. And then you start comparing much more with others. And that comparison is very, like, comparison really
Is a
is,
killer.
yeah, it is. I
The
didn't want to
confidence
say
killer.
that, but you said it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a confidence killer because it's just like the internet, like, and people are posting their most beautiful pictures and not makeupless pictures, such as myself. But I'm older. But it's like you shouldn't be competing with, and women should not be competing with each other. There's space enough for everybody. We're all different. We're
Yes.
all unique, and being celebratory of that and not competing. I hate that. And I think that's what took the joy out of gymnastics for me. It was I was doing it for fun, and then somebody recognized that I had abilities and then said, "Oh," to my parents, "Oh, she should be in competitive gymnastics." And I didn't know any different. I was only like 13, 14 years old. But
Mm.
I realized looking back that it took the joy away, and I didn't enjoy it at all. And I didn't
Mm.
feel that I was ready for that, or nor did I want that. So I love what you're doing. I think it's phenomenal. Like, I have an attachment to music and dance, which we've talked about previously.
Mm.
But oh, because it's a short segment, before we go, I want to know if there's any specific projects you have coming up that you want to let people know about, anything coming up for you?
Well, actually, like my core, my heart market is the young dancers, but I serve what I call a group of humans who dance.
Okay,
And that is a group that like is a community that just comes together from people who just like to move and dance and find that dancing or moving is their way of expressing themselves. So through coaching, like one-on-one coaching or businesses that are somehow involved in dancing, I am there to coach these people and these businesses as well. Even they're not young dancers, so that's not that target or that group of people, but they're humans who dance who have something in common. And it doesn't matter whether they're a professional or whether they just dance in their living room in their underwear. It
good.
doesn't matter, you
Yeah,
know?
it doesn't, there's no judgment. I
Exactly.
love that. So what I'm going to say to you is thank you for taking the time to describe what you do, because I'm always fascinated when I do this. I never really know what I'm going to get, and then I'm always like, wow, it's even better than I thought. So if anybody wants to work with you, contact you. Your information is going to be, when I release this video, it's going to be in the header. And if you wish to share in the comments any other further information, absolutely welcome to. And I hope to see you again doing this when you have a project to launch or whatever. We can always revisit. Sound good?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye,
Yes.
everybody.
Bye.